My neighbor's dog killed my puppy in front of his kids, so I made him terrified of anything that breathes. Brad thought scaring people was hilarious, and his kids did too. Every morning, his dogs attacked the fence while his boys laughed at crying kindergartners. At the 4th of July barbecue, he let all 3 dogs loose while his kids timed the chaos. When our HOA tried discussing dog rules, Brad brought his meanest one, and nobody would speak up. His brother worked for animal control and made complaints disappear. Things got worse after Brad realized nobody would stop him. He started training his dogs in the front yard while his boys kept score. They had a whole system where old people were worth 1 point, but runners were worth 5. His wife Lauren started taking the kids to her mother's house during training sessions. I tried asking him to keep the dogs in back during school hours. The next day, his older son stood at the bus stop with Rex. The chain was just short enough to not reach the sidewalk. Kids pressed against the opposite fence anyway. Brad filmed it from his porch while his younger boy counted how many kids cried. Whenever anyone complained, Brad would claim discrimination against pit bulls. He threatened to sue for harassment and mention his brother at animal control. Then he'd let his dogs accidentally get loose near the complainer's house that night. He started bringing raw meat to the park during family picnics. His dogs would fight over it while his kids cheered. At the farmer's market, he'd act shocked when they lunged at other pets. Lauren stopped coming to neighborhood events after people begged her to intervene. My puppy Milo was everything Brad's dogs weren't. My mom gave him to me 2 weeks before she died of cancer. He was this gentle golden retriever who loved everyone. Brad kept saying I was raising a marshmallow, not a dog. That morning, I just let Milo out when I noticed Brad's kids by their back gate. The older boy was teaching the younger one something about the latch. I had a bad feeling and moved toward the door. Pull it fast and watch him work, the kid said. The gate flew open and Rex burst through like a missile. I screamed and ran but knew I wouldn't make it. Rex hit Milo hard and went straight for his throat. Brad appeared on his deck holding his Sunday newspaper and coffee. His kids whooped and hollered while my puppy fought for his life. I pleaded with Brad to intervene. He checked his watch like he was timing it. The emergency vet couldn't save Milo. She said Rex had been trained for quick kills, not regular dog fights. The police claimed without video evidence their hands were tied. Brad's response when I confronted him was that I'd learned why people get real protection dogs. His kids high-fived him and went back inside. I buried Milo under his favorite tree and spent a week planning. Brad posted constantly about hunting trips and being an apex predator. He thought fear was entertainment, but I'd show him what being prey felt like. I studied the woods behind our properties and found paths between the trees. Mrs. Chen quietly gave me her gate code to access the woods through her yard. Other neighbors agreed to mention strange animal sightings whenever Brad asked. Everyone wanted to help after years of terrorization. Brad's yard had blind spots where the forest got thick. I mapped his morning jog route and learned his exact schedule. I bought coyote urine and motion speakers from hunting stores online. The Hendersons mentioned Brad was paranoid about rabies after his uncle died from it. I tested the speakers in my basement, getting the sick animal sounds perfect. The key was making him feel hunted without knowing who was hunting. I'd been posting about my grief online playing the broken victim. Brad was so used to being the predator he'd never suspect me. Week 1. I sprayed coyote urine along his property line after midnight. By day 3, Brad was asking neighbors about strange smells and sounds. I left rabies outbreak flyers in his mailbox. He started obsessively checking his dogs' mouths for foam. Week 2. I hid speakers in the brush and played recordings of sick animals during his training sessions. His dogs cowered and whined instead of attacking. They pulled toward the house, refusing commands. His kids stopped their scoring game and went inside. Week 4. I strategically placed roadkill along his jogging route. The torn carcasses looked like something had been feeding. Brad started carrying a bat everywhere and jumping at shadows. His boys begged to skip school rather than wait at the dark bus stop. Week 6. I created glowing eyes in the woods using reflective tape at different heights. His younger son had nightmares about yellow eyes watching through his window. I dragged branches across his roof at 3 a.m. using fishing line. Brad sat on his porch all night with a loaded shotgun while Lauren packed suitcases. Week 8 came the final note in shaky handwriting. Your dogs brought us here. They smell like prey. We're watching your cubs. His children became hysterical and barricaded themselves in their rooms. They screamed whenever the dogs barked. Lauren delivered her ultimatum through their bedroom door. The dogs leave or we leave. When Brad's meanest fighter peed inside rather than go out, he finally broke. Within 3 days, every dog was gone. Brad still searches his yard every night carrying a baseball bat. His tough kids cross streets to avoid dogs. He tells everyone about the rabid animals lurking nearby. When I adopted Hope from the rescue shelter, his boys just stared through their window. They haven't played outside since.